Hi, I'm Nina Tekwani with Desert Financial, and I'm here today with Kate Fitzgerald, ASU student, athlete, change maker, and owner of the beach volleyball apparel company, VB America. Welcome, Kate.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. It's
Thank
nice to
you.
catch up with you again.
I know, it's been a while.
I know. So tell us, how have things been over the last, 6-7 months since we last spoke?
Things are going great. Our team is just killing records left and right, breaking all sorts of records at ASU, having an incredible season with the beach volleyball team for Arizona State. The business is going well. I was able to go out to Las Vegas for the sports licensing and tailgate show and really network and meet some really great university directors and licensing and bookstores, and really excited to expand our college line for VB America over this next year. It's gonna be wonderful. And outside of that, it's just been great to I call it very bittersweet, taking in the last moments of senior year, but really excited for what the future has
I
in
can't
store.
believe you are a
I
senior.
know.
When we first started working together, I think you were just kicking off senior year.
Yeah.
It's been a busy year for you.
Yes, it's been busy, but it's been going great.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to pursue beach volleyball?
Yeah, so I love playing sports. I love being active. I have to be doing something all the time. Rest is something that I actually like. Sitting down, I have to tell myself, okay, go sit down, right? So that's definitely what got me into sports. And my family and my parents, I actually played soccer for a really, really long time. I didn't start playing volleyball until I was in high school. I did it on the side growing up, like maybe my middle school team with friends, or with my mom. She played and she really taught me all my basics. And then when I got into high school, I decided, I'm done with soccer. I'm going to pursue volleyball full time. Made my freshman indoor team as a setter libero kind of mix, and did that. Tried out for club for the first time. Made the second team, and around the end of my sophomore year, beginning of my junior year, I found beach volleyball from a senior at my high school. She was like, "Hey, there's this club beach volleyball. You should come try it out. It's really laid back. I think you'd be good at it." And I went and tried, absolutely fell in love with it. Did both indoor, and beach volleyball for a little bit. And then, when you're trying to play college sports, eventually it was getting the point where the sports were separating and you could no longer do beach and indoor in college. And I kind of thought about that and didn't want to do that to my body. And I decided, with a lot of hard decision and family help, I'm going to leave indoor and do beach and pursue that full time, which was the best decision I've ever made. And I started sending out college emails really, really late. It was halfway through my junior year. And got lucky, and I was able to commit originally actually to Missouri State, and then through COVID and changes, I ended up walking on to ASU instead, which has been a blessing in disguise.
Well, that's awesome. You got to stay close to home.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. You grew up in Scottsdale, right?
Yes.
You're a native Phoenician, born and raised.
Yeah, I love Arizona. I do say I want to leave at some point, just simply because I think it's healthy and it's good to go out on your own and leave as you're a young adult. But I definitely plan on coming back to Arizona. It's such an easy lifestyle, weather. I mean, you have to deal with heat, but that's about it. And I love being close to my family and my friends. It's also just crazy to see how much Arizona's grown and changed. Since I was a kid. I mean, it's expanding in every direction, and I'm driving down my street, and I'm like, where did all these buildings come from? Where are these new things coming from? So I love Arizona. It's great. And there's a really great network within Arizona for any sort of career you want.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your business. So early in your college career, you started VB America, right? So it's a beach volleyball apparel brand?
Yeah, it's actually all volleyball apparel.
That's awesome.
So I started VB America. I had the idea originally in high school when I was playing both beach and indoor high schools clubs, and I was competing on all 4 teams, and I was looking really for something for my parents to wear to the games to support, and then for me to wear out to school with friends to show hey, I like volleyball. But really all you get is a tacky t-shirt you sleep in from your clubs. There's no other way to describe it. And
is it oversized, right?
Yeah,
Typical
usually
2XL?
I would grab an extra large because I'm I'm gonna sleep in this. It's cozy.
Right.
And I wanted something cute. It's a feminine sport. And then when I was driving to California with my family, the NIL regulations were opened up and this whole new world was explored. And I looked to my dad. I was like, okay, I don't have, 2 million followers on Instagram or anything like that, to where a big Adidas or like something like that I ever thought would come knocking on my door right away. So I was like, I want to create something of value to create NIL deals for other athletes. And then also just, I think this would be fun. It's an opportunity. Let me capture it. And I was like, remember that clothing line idea I had? Like, I'm going to start it. And my family was like, go for it. Like, you might as well try. So in my sophomore year, I very roughly started it. I held one pop-up. We sold out. It was a success, kept me going. But I did a lot of pitching for grant funding. And that's really, once I kind of received those couple, like, hey, you know, people are interested in this. My junior year is where I really started investing in it and paying more attention as, like, something I want to grow and do. So
that's so cool. So you've been in business 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many schools do you work with?
With our college licensing, I believe we're licensed with 10 universities now. My goal is to have upwards between like 25 and up, maybe 50 in the next year and a half would be, that's like the business goal. We are currently in ASU, U of A, and USC bookstores for this past year. And then in the fall, we will be in a lot more surprising bookstores.
That's exciting.
But it's been incredible. It's been so great. We're also in Rally House, which is great with all our ASU stuff.
Very cool.
Really cool.
So tell me a little bit about how you were able to set some goals to help you be able to build this business. I'm sure, you know, you have to start somewhere, right? So what are some tips you have around savings for, you know, other athletes who may want to start their business in college, and how to, you know, open the key to success here? Yeah,
so I have goals on both like a financial front and just like an encouragement front. First and foremost, go ask people. I think if you want to start anything, you just like, there's people out there, especially in an athletic community, in a college athletic community, that want to help you be successful. So my first thing I would say is go out and set the goal to ask a question and say, hey, I have this idea. Will you help me with it? Because there will be someone who wants to help you and guide you with that. From there, the biggest thing that was offered at ASU that helped me with the financial side, obviously depends on what business you want to start, but you'll have to have some money up front to start it, getting your product in, getting marketing, whatever it may be. And through that, I was able to work in a program called Venture Devils at ASU, where it's kind of like mini Shark Tank style pitches.
That's cool.
You do a 5-minute pitch in front of 5 judges. They ask you questions. You're competing against other businesses, and then you ask for a certain amount of money in whatever group you're in. And yeah, it's literally that. You're pitching for your for grant funding. And I did 4 or 5 of those, I think, and I won a few rounds and was able to get grant funding, which allowed me financially to start. Once I got it, I would say the biggest thing with a business of any sort is making sure, because I definitely messed up here and learned from my mistakes, you put the money to the right aspects. You know, learning, that's where there's more of the financial breakdown of what is this money being used for and why, and expect to do it wrong, but then learn from it.
Yeah, that's smart. So let's say a college student, you know, an athlete in school, ASU, maybe they go somewhere else in the state. They want to set aside some money. Maybe they're working part-time. Maybe they have, you know, some funds saved. Like, what does that structure look like? Are you taking a certain amount of your money that you're making and putting that aside, or how are, you know, is there a number you're working with? What does that look like?
Definitely part of growing up. Don't grow up, just kidding. That's definitely been something this last year I've opened my eyes to more than ever before. Just as you go out, and all my friends and I are starting to, you know, look for careers and apply to jobs and have those things and see, you know, like what your yearly salary, stuff like that's going to be. Learning financial literacy, I've learned, is very important. In my life personally, I take, if I'm getting any sort of personal money, so I separate myself from my business.
So you pay yourself?
No. So I'm not at the point with my business where I take any money personally for it. It's everything that's made profitable from the business goes back into it to continue growing it. So any money I get personally through just work I do and any job I have at the time, I usually take around 15% and automatically put that into savings.
That's good.
So that way I have it there down the road. And then I kind of set monthly budgets for myself and right now I'm really more focused on the future.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate as a student athlete, they have certain meals provided for us. Like my workouts, I'm not having to like get a gym membership to get a workout or those type of things. So right now in my life, I'm really heavy, more probably over 15% on that savings side, because I know I have a future coming up where a lot of those things that I have won't be there where I'll need that for.
Yeah.
So that would be the best advice I have on
That's
that front.
great. So I even think with the 15%, you don't have to be an athlete to just save 15%.
No.
I think any college student,
Yes,
right? Like let's say
definitely.
you're working part-time or whatever that looks like, putting that money aside is just so key
Yes.
to kind of building that foundation. It's almost like the emergency fund, right?
I would actually say, so using the Desert Financial app has helped me because the internal transfers, I have my personal checking and the savings account, and being able to like transfer the money through there so simply. If I'm ever like in a rut and I need to take some money out of savings, it allows me to, but it definitely allows me to quickly, okay, I put all the money into my checking account and then transfer that certain portion of it into the savings, or vice versa, depending on where I'm at. So that's been a huge help.
Yeah, it's great to be able to see everything right in front of
Right
you,
there.
right? You have a good lay of the land on your finances.
And I can see my business. It's all right there. All the
That's
business
amazing.
accounts are right there, which is great.
That's awesome. So you sound like you're a really busy person, right? You have your life as a student, first and foremost, right? You have your life as a change maker with us, which we absolutely love. Great program. You were our principal change maker in its first year. You have VB America, and you are an athlete. Plus, where do you have time for a personal life? Tell us about what a day in the life looks like with you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is probably my most asked question, and I really should just write a script response in my head. I literally don't know how to answer it. I would say it's really learning as I go. I think you're never going to be, at least with myself, like a really competitive person of any sort. You're not 100% satisfied. Like there's always something you need to go to get and go after, and something you're striving for. So with myself and my day, I'm trying to learn to have the far lens, looking out and planning and the importance of it, but getting caught in the moment, not losing myself and losing the moment. So that's been a really big goal I've focused on the last year. So my day-to-days, we have practice every day. We're in season. That's 12 to 4:30 of my day is set. We're practicing. And then traveling on the weekends, depending if we're home, if we're away, if we are traveling, if we aren't traveling. And that's every student athlete balancing that, and time management skills, etc. I personally have just learned, I think prioritizing is really important, and knowing, okay, is it more important this week for me to focus on my grades, focus on my degree, focus on my business, or focus on volleyball?
Yeah.
And recently, just knowing, okay, I only have 2 more months left as a career as an athlete, I've decided to focus more on that and then necessarily VBA right now, because I have that moving forward.
That's going to be there once you graduate.
Exactly.
Right?
So I think that is the biggest thing with the day-to-day. So my day in my life will look up, sorry to kind of tangent away from your original question, but the day in the life is I wake up, good breakfast, get some emails and work done, go to class, sometimes do some work during class, volleyball. I go practice, spend time with my friends, try to be in the moment there as much as I can. And then I'll finish the day with our athlete dinners, and then any work I have left.
Nice.
And usually some sort of movie, or hanging out with either my friends, my boyfriend, whoever it is.
That's awesome. So where do you find time for personal hobbies? And do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I do. Mostly at evening. I try to get as much done in the morning. So when I'm back by 6 o'clock, I don't have anything else to worry about. And I'm able to just from 6 to 10, just enjoy my life. Recently, a big thing, part of that has been cooking. I love to cook dinners, and I love to bake. So if we get a meal provided for us in any way, I'll bake. And I usually have some bad bananas, and I'll make some banana bread. I usually buy too many and have some brown ones, and that's been a big thing. Some protein banana bread, cookies, brownies, whatever it is I love to bake. I've also been trying to cook dinner and then put on a movie or a show, just decompress and relax. Text a friend and go get food with them, and just catch up and get go over life. Those are kind of what I like to do.
That's good. Well, you keep your days busy, and I'm certainly impressed. It sounds like it feels like this all comes so natural to you, and I'm so inspired by that.
Thank you.
That being said, I am sure you've probably faced some tough times just being a business owner.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that's been like and how you navigated those experiences?
Yeah, that's a great question, because as I'm talking about like these great things, it's tied with failure. You can't learn, you can't move forward without any sort of failure, whether that's as an athlete, as a student, or in your business or career life. I think I can tell you my favorite story with my business failure. The first real big one I ever experienced, we had just got licensed with ASU, and to license with a college takes multiple steps and months and documents and things that I had no idea going into it, right? So learn as you go, definitely fake it till you make it, or act as is kind of something I've been saying. But long story short, we got the license. I'm holding a pop-up at the AVP tour, and I'm like, it's in Phoenix. I want to bring ASU volleyball gear. That's so exciting. There's all these families and kids watching. I get it approved. I get the order sent to the manufacturer. There's these things called the PMS colors, which, like this black is pretty forward. Well, colleges are very particular about their colors, right? You want to match their school
branding's
logos.
Important.
Branding's important. And I had mistyped the last number of the PMS color, and everything sent to us was pink and not maroon. And it came in the night before the tournament. So luckily, I had a good relationship with our manufacturer and our licensing director, and we were able to work everything out. But when I opened that box and saw the bright pink shirt that said ASU volleyball, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Did you keep one as memorabilia from the mistake?
We kept them for myself,
awesome.
And I gave some to my family. But yeah, I think that's important, because you're able, as long as you handle that with honesty. And I just immediately picked up the phone and called the licensing director. I was like, what do you want me to do? And we figured out a path and what to do. So you're going to screw up, but if you can admit it and move forward and try to do better, that's always important.
Yeah. Every experience that brings failure brings a learning opportunity, right? And if you can continue to build on that, you can get to where you want to get to.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't imagine any business owner has navigated these types of challenges without having some sort of crazy mistake or experience, right? It's so inspiring to see all that you've done. What advice would you offer to other student athletes who may have that entrepreneurial itch and want to start a business, whether during college or after college?
I always say go for it. I always say go for it. I always say just try. It's very unique. Any high level athlete already has that natural competitive itch inside them, and they also have the ability, I want to say, to look beyond what someone's doing and figure it out. They're able to strategize, they're able to put up a game plan, and I also think they're able to when you're playing a sport, you have to pick up on tendencies, and you have to read things, right? And I think all of those abilities can apply to entrepreneurship. And the biggest one is not giving up if you lose. I mean, athletes day in and day out are knocked down, whether that's at practice and it's a coach saying hey, you're not playing well enough, or it's a bad interaction with your partner on the court, or you give your very best to a game and you still lose. Or you can't play a game and nothing's going right. And that sums up entrepreneurship. Also, there's its highlights, but that's also its lows. And athletes have that ability to get up, move forward, and create their own plan, which is really great. So every athlete, you have it in you already, and just, it doesn't have to be a grand idea. You just have to find something of value that can fix a problem or give others value and bring it out there to the world.
That's so true. I've had the internal itch over the years to start something on the side, and you're so right that some of the biggest barriers just going for it, right? It's just starting.
Yeah.
And I feel like people psych themselves out over that initial step, and they make it such a big deal when really you can take small steps to help break that down.
The best advice I got from someone, I think it was my dad. He gives the best advice. But I had a lot going on, and he was just write a list down of every single thing that you need to get done by Friday that you're stressed about, and then you'll see it's only 4 things, and then you can break those things down. And even in your daily life small tasks, it's just starting those sometimes.
True.
Yeah.
That's so smart. I love that idea of with that first step, just breaking it out day by day, right? So just looking at like a week at a time in order to get this launched. What are the things I need to do this week, right?
Exactly.
And then next week at the start of the week, almost like a week, like you do your weekly planning.
If you have a big project you're working on, I tend to I procrastinate a lot, but I also tend to take a big project and think when I have to get it all done in that one time.
Yeah.
When it's okay, but then a month later you still haven't done it because you want to do it all. Whereas if you just split it up, by the end of that month, you'll probably be done with it and you don't even realize it because you split it up.
That's so true. Well, it's so inspiring to hear this. So, in your athletic career, you have your coach, right? Your coach is the one playing that role that when you do get knocked down, they're the ones telling you you can get back up and you're going to go. Do you have someone, whether it's a family member or a mentor, who helps you be that guide on the business side?
Yes. That's actually who I was referring to earlier. His name's Jeffrey Kanowski. I met him through the ASU Global Sport Institute. He works with student athletes. And I think I would just really followed up a lot with him. And I was like, can you help me? I don't know what I'm doing. And they wanted to help. So he's been tremendous. My parents, my dad is a great mentor for it. And then outside of that, her name's Jessica, and she has been incredible mentor. And she works she's CEO of Horizon Strategies, and it's a lot of females within that group that have all been great mentors to me.
That's so cool. So it sounds like creating a good plan in terms of setting some money aside.
Yes.
Just starting to break down your tasks week by week, right?
Yes.
And then finding possibly a mentor. Those sound like some of the key ingredients, right, for getting a business started as an athlete or a college student or even post-grad, right?
Yeah, and I would say with mentorship, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Because if I have now started mentoring and helping others way, way younger than me, and not because I wouldn't say I have that much experience or that old with anything.
Well, you have probably a lot more than the average college student, right?
Thank you. But I think that's important too, because that almost holds you to a standard and it keeps you have someone to talk to go for help. But then if someone's coming to you want to keep yourself at a high standard so you're able to be a good inspiration to others. So I think that's important. And like I said, understanding financials is great.
It's so true. So we've gotten to know the great side of your athletic and your business career. And like I said, I'm super impressed by it, but I want to hear the fun side of you. So if you could play volleyball, specifically beach volleyball, with any celebrity, who would it be?
Okay, that's a great question. I would have to say specifically beach volleyball. I'd want to play with April Ross or Alex Kleinman or Sarah Swanseld. Those are all great beach volleyball players. But if it was just any celebrity, not an athlete celebrity, I'd say probably Blake Lively maybe, or Taylor Swift.
That would be fun.
I love Taylor Swift. Everyone's going to be classic. Just kidding. Yeah, those are my answers.
Those are fun. What is the funniest nickname you've ever been given by one of your teammates?
Oh gosh. Okay, it's so embarrassing. They call me Teeny. I wish I could make it up. I hated it for the longest time. It's an inside joke with the story that I'm not going to get into right now. But there was... Actually, I can explain it. We went to a restaurant, and there was one of these... They had all these fun sodas and stuff.
Yeah.
And one was called Kate Teeny. And we all went there for my friend's birthday, and somehow that stuck. So it was Kate Teeny for a while, and now they call me Teeny. I absolutely dreaded it, and I was stop calling it, and now I've accepted it.
Well, yeah, it's your nickname.
Yes, it's
there
the nickname.
For life, right?
Yeah. But that's just a couple ASU friends. My life nickname that I've had is Fitzy.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
my last name's Fitzgerald, so Fitz and Fitzy, which I prefer much more.
That's cool.
But now I love Teeny too. It's inside joke.
I love that too. What's your favorite TV show?
Friends.
Oh, that's a good
Friends
one.
Is my
one of my
go-to.
favorites. Same. Can always turn it on and just
so
watch it on
good.
repeat.
Yes. I always say I should have grown up in the 90s.
Right? And then finally, what is your favorite part about running your business?
Oh, my favorite part would have to be the way I've seen it translate to so many things that's not clothing.
Yeah.
And the way it's inspired, and I'm able to work with younger girls and really anyone for that matter. That's got to be the part that keeps me going. Just the way I'm able to really work with young girls. I believe you can change people through sport in so many ways. Sport can teach us so much.
Yeah.
Especially kids. So that's my favorite part is just the way I can inspire people through a t-shirt and a story. I think has just really pushed me to keep going.
It's incredible. Kate, this has been such a fun conversation.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back
Yeah.
here with us at Desert Financial again, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was good to be back.